What's the
camera gone?
Oh,
yeah, there you are. Yeah, you're there. I can see you.
There was this little noise again. I don't know why. When I record, how did you say something?
Hello.
It's just this little noise. I don't know why. It's not there when I'm.
Is it going zoom, zoom like that?
Yeah. Did you hear it on the playback?
Yeah, I heard it on the playback.
Actually, I think it's all right now.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we'll just hopefully it'll be okay. We'll see what happens. Made a homemade coffee.
Homemade? What is that? Turkish coffee?
Oh no, English coffee. Like
yeah.
latte. I like both coffees. I like English coffee, Turkish coffee.
Yeah, Turkish coffee's too strong for me, man.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, way too strong.
Yeah, no, but you're fine with English coffee, like normal coffee?
Yeah. I mean, I've started drinking it again, but I do find if I drink too much coffee, man, I can't sit still. I get hyper and stuff.
Yeah. It can affect your sleep if you have too much as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I know some people can actually, if they have a lot, they can have it and sleep as well because they're so used to it. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I don't recommend too much coffee. But my maximum is twice a day. If I have more, I just don't feel right.
I mean, in your job as well, I guess you always need to be, sharp and engaging. So I guess coffee is good for you, really.
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoy it. It's
yeah. I know there was a time actually. I remember when I was at a previous company when I was an apprentice. I was drinking. I'm not lying to you. I was drinking about 4 cups of coffee a day, and I was drinking 2 500 milliliter like bottles of Diet Coke as well.
Yeah.
So all that caffeine, man. I couldn't sleep. It was terrible. I couldn't do that now. Though, no way.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you hear about Franco, man?
Yeah, Franco Colombo.
Yeah, it's very, very, very sad. Definitely be missed. I was looking at some of his stats. He only weighed about 83 kilos.
Yeah, wow.
83 kilos, and he's some of his lifts, like his bench press was like 300 kilos. His deadlift was huge. His squat was big, and he wasn't even that big. And I was thinking to myself, I was going, because he was a good boxer as well, weren't he, Franco Colombo?
No, I didn't hear that about him. I didn't see.
Yeah, he was an amateur boxer in Italy, so he won a national title, and it was a good boxer. And you just see his movements as well. I mean, compare like someone like him to like Phil Heath now. Like, I don't like the way the modern bodybuilders look. I think they take too much growth hormone. They've got like the steroid guts, the growth guts. But Franco he had a little waist, massive shoulders, and he was just strong as an ox. But he was agile as well. If you see him in pumping iron, he's skipping, he's blowing up the hot water balloon, and he pops it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's crazy. I think he was one of those guys. He would have been a good boxer. He was obviously a good bodybuilder. He would have just been good at everything.
Yeah. Some people
like
the. I remember the scene in Pumping Iron as well, where he's talking about himself and he's moving. There's a car. He just
yeah. That's right.
He deadlifts it, moves it about a bit, like kind of shakes it out just enough so he can get out.
And he wipes his hands with a cloth after, and he just he wipes his hands with a cloth. He was phenomenal, man. And yeah, and him and Arnie, I think, because they were good friends, weren't they? I think he was from Italy and Arnie was from Austria, so I think they both immigrated to America at the same time, roughly the same time, anyway. So I think that's why they were quite close as well. They're both immigrants, and they came like to the US with nothing, and they turned their lives around. So I think that's why Arnie, especially, he had a good bond with him, and he's obviously sad. It was his good friend, But yeah, it's upsetting. It really is. Yeah. But it was good because again, Arnie was a big character, and then you had Franco. He was like he had a little smile, and that's it. He didn't say too many words, but he let his success do the talking. Yeah. And I do like that about people like that, because I think you get a lot of celebrities now, or people in the spotlight. They want their assets to do the talking, but Franco, man, he didn't care about what car he had and whatnot. It was his bodybuilding legacy did the talking, so it was inspirational, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, good stuff.
What about you? You've been how's training going? All good?
Yeah, no, good. I actually had a couple of weeks off, but then from not like 2 weeks ago, I started back again. I was just the reason I stopped for a couple of weeks, I was just mentally, because I've done something to my shoulder. It was
Oh
mentally
yeah.
just affecting me. Sometimes I'm an all or nothing person. Like, I just want to be able to train everything. But that's improving. It's not 100%, but it's getting there. 2 weeks ago, I did a full body workout. I did the same like Monday, Wednesday, Friday last week. I'm just trying to do something where I guess it's similar to Parel's thing, where you train a lift often, but not go to not do too much volume that you can't recover. So I did both squats and deadlifts on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Only 2 heavy sets. I was feeling really good. But Yvette, my partner, she was well, of course, Yvette. I'm just thought I say partner. Yeah, my fiance. She was coming back Friday evening, and she messaged me if I fancy a 5K run. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Wicked.
So it's my first running since July. I wanted to do it. So yesterday I was feeling achy still, and I was on the edge of I could train, but a rest day would do me good as well. I had a lot of stuff to do. I was in the gym 6:30 in the morning till 8:30 at night yesterday. So I got a lot of stuff done. Had a rest day. I'm actually having a rest day today. I'm going to train tomorrow. Get back on it.
Nice, man.
But it feels good. One thing about squatting and deadlifting heavy just makes you feel good. I get something out of it.
Yeah.
That I mean, have you had that yourself? Where training's going well. You're lifting heavy, or you just feel good. Feel good, strong.
Definitely. Especially with the squats and the deadlift, because I mean, you're probably you like doing the squat. I'm not a big fan of the squat. I mean, I do it because I have to.
Yeah, I'm better at the deadlift though. I didn't squat heavy for a while.
But you don't mind doing them, do you? I mean, a lot of people avoid squats altogether. I mean, you've never had that problem.
Yeah, no. I'm happy to do it. Yeah.
But what I've been trying to do as well, because obviously I'm doing Pavel's style training as well. So yesterday I did what was it? I did 2 sets of 5. So I went really light on my deadlifts, really light, and then today I did 3 sets of 3, and then I increased on the last set. So basically that's how. So I did 3 sets of 3 reps, and then say for the first 2 sets, I did 87 kilos on the deadlift, and then I increased it up to 95. But the way I've been doing it now is I'm trying to go really low on my setup on my deadlift. So I'm literally coming, so my like arse to grass, holding the bar, and I'm sitting up straight. So literally, it's not like, do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm sort of like, when you do a squat, arse to grass.
Yeah.
And you're all the way, your bottom's all the way down.
Yeah.
So sort of I'm holding the bar from like that position, and I stand up. So I'm not doing like I'm going really low, deep, and because I'm trying to get my back better, my lower back.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's, I'm not going too heavy on the weights, but I'm focusing more on the form. And again, I'm doing Pavel style training, so I'm doing that, a little bit every single day, and I'm not warming up as well. So yesterday's workout was today's warm up, and then so on. So I don't normally warm up. I go straight into my sets because I'm not doing that. And I find that, I don't know, I feel like I'm recovering faster. I'm not sore at all, and I think it's a good method. I really do.
Yeah, no, it's good. So again, that's focused more on strength, isn't it?
It is more on strength. It is working strength.
I know he says strength is a skill, so regular practice will develop that skill, that strength. And you stay kind of warmed up each day because you're doing it every day. Your body's ready for doing it at any time. I always tell everyone I train as well. Always make sure you got that arch lower back at the bottom. As long as you've got that arch, that's a good starting point. I mean, I know might be good as well to tell like the viewers for the different rep ranges and stuff. So normally less than 8 reps is more strength training. Typically like there's different methods, 5 sets of 5, or again there are a lot of different methods, but lifting heavy enough that you can't do more than 6 or 7 is more strength training.
No, definitely.
8 to 12 is more like building, like working muscles, building muscles more to get the muscle growth. And then endurance is over 12 reps for muscle endurance. But depending on your goal, you want to utilize them at different times.
Yeah.
So So someone going
I mean,
for more
even
strength training.
combining it, isn't it?
Yeah, you can combine, definitely.
You know, it's like, I found when I was doing, see, there's new research out now. I mean, it's not necessarily new, but it's like, you know, the Bulgarian style method of training. I mean, people could build muscle on doing. I mean, this is going really in depth into it.
Yeah.
I mean, what you're saying, stick to that because it's the basic rep range. You know,
it's basic kind of guideline.
I mean, with enough progressive overload and volume, you can build muscle as well on 2 or 3 reps, can't you? I mean,
no, you can. If you look at the Olympic weightlifters,
yeah, exactly, yeah,
they're not where they're not doing they're only going for like 1 rep max.
Yeah.
They're not training. They train lighter than the 1 rep max. You know, they only go for but basically they're doing very low reps most of the time. You can see they've got good muscle growth as well.
Definitely.
From doing that. I mean, it builds the muscles differently. Basically, if you go heavier or lighter, ideally you want to get a mixture. If you're going from
definitely. Yeah. I found that's good way. I mean, a lot of people who are doing like, you know, heavy, not necessarily heavy heavy singles, and they're doing lower rep range because they're going for strength. You do need to add, like, sort of say, do one day. I mean, this is, again, if you're a bit more advanced as your training, I'll recommend this. You know, do say a heavy day, medium day, and a light day. You know, for recovery and things like that. But then if you're sort of someone who's just a beginner and, you know, your strength standards ain't as high as, say, someone who's intermediate advanced, 3x5, 5x5, the normal 3 to 8 rep range, things like that. I think you could stick to them. Like, don't get too technical. I wouldn't recommend someone getting too technical on, you know, rep ranges, this and that. Just stick to the basics, if you know what I mean. Like, what do you think? Do you agree with that, or?
Stick to the basics. I actually like starting beginners. I guess even if they're going for strength, I like to start them on lighter weights, go for more reps, just to get the technique. Because a lot of beginners, they're not used to the movements. So I normally do that with beginners just to get their techniques going. If someone's doing like 10 reps versus 5 reps, or I even start them on even 15, just to the more times you practice a movement, the better the movement will be as well. But then definitely keep it basic. Soon get them onto, you know, a strength program.
Definitely. But that's a good philosophy you've got there, actually, because I do think that's sort of like Pavel style training as well, because you're not lifting as much weight, but you've got more reps and workload in the bank.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you practice a squat, you know, with a lighter weight, say 15 times, and you're sort of new to it, compared to, you know, you're going to get better at the maneuver because you're doing it more as well.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, I think, and that's a good way to incorporate training, especially for beginners. I think that's a smart tactic. Yeah. Definitely.
And for even for someone going for fat loss, definitely a mixture of all the different rep ranges would be good as well. Yeah. You know, if someone was going for fat loss, doing the heavy lifting is still going to help boost their metabolism, just hit the body differently. Rather than just staying light. I mean, a lot of people in the gym going for fat loss, they might lift too light and not push themselves enough as well. With that, that's why. Like, it's funny. Normally, when I train people, they if they haven't trained with a trainer before, they're surprised I'm giving them.
Yeah, of course, because if you train with someone, you're always going to train, even if it's 10, 15, 20% more. You're going to push yourself more because, you know, the person, especially when I train with you. I mean, when we were doing deadlifts that time, I managed to get an extra couple reps and add on a few, like 5 or 10 kilos, just because you've got someone there, you know, just going, go on, you can do it, or fixing your form, you lift more. So, you know, and it's just when you're by yourself, sometimes, you know, if it's fatigue or, you know, just you switch off.
Yeah.
So if you've got someone there to, like, you know, go on, you can do one more. It does help you. Trainers are good. I would recommend trainers to even advanced lifters, excuse me. You know, you can plateau on lifts, and if you've got a good trainer who can, you know, restructure. Say if you're plateaued on bench press, excuse me. You know, essentially, I mean, in what I would do personally, I was, you know, check my calories. I'm eating more. I would even incorporate more shoulder press. I think the shoulder press has a lot of carryover to the bench press. Definitely, I think. I mean, I think in my experience, if you get good at the shoulder overhead press, your bench press will increase. I've found in my experience, it's the same. Yeah. It's harder, ain't it? You know, it's a hard movement, and it's similar. It's a pushing motion. So I do think you will get, you know. But then again, if if you're just starting out, I wouldn't worry about stuff like that too much yet. You know, just it's just that's just for my 2 cents. But yeah, shoulder overhead press. That's my favorite exercise. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great exercise. It's one I can't do at the moment because of the
shoulder.
shoulder.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Frustrated with that, but you know, you got to work around.
Face pulls. You're doing your face pulls.
Face pulls. Yes, yeah. Doing a lot of kind of cable, kind of rotator cuff work at the moment as well. Doing that. 2-3 times a week. I was actually going to say as well about the sometimes a lot of like people get scared of lifting heavier weights. They're scared they're going to put on muscle, like get bulky. And their main goal is fat loss. But no, the funny thing is, like, wherever you go, most goals, the more muscle you can work. The only difference is for weight gain in muscle building, you're going to eat more calories to put on the weight. Yeah, if you go for fat loss, you can still lift heavy, but reduce your calories. You're not going to put on. I mean, you'll put on some lean mass, which is good, and it's going to help burn the fat. As long as your calories for the week and your macros are at the right levels.
Yeah.
But it's just funny. Same with protein as well. Everyone needs enough protein.
Yeah.
If you're going for muscle growth, you might need more. But if you're going for fat loss, you still need protein. Like sometimes people mistake lots of protein for building muscle, but no, we need it as much as like everyone needs water, everyone needs sleep.
Yeah, definitely.
Protein's a part of kind of equation because our bodies can't make protein, of course.
No, definitely. I mean, and like you're saying, that's a good point. And if you are trying to lose weight, protein, steak, chicken breast, whichever, that fills you up as well. It'll fill you up a lot more than say carb. So it's after when you are trying to lose body fat, it is good to have a slightly increase your protein because you've got more bang for your buck, calorie wise.
Yeah, definitely. And it's used for all different processes in the body. It's essential for health, basically.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things it's used for: hair, skin, nails, different processes in the body. Of course, repairing after a workout, repairing your body and muscles.
Yeah, no, protein you do need it, definitely. But I mean, as well, what's your take on the ketogenic diet?
Yeah, I'd say.
Have you tried it? Have you tried running it yet? Or
I haven't tried it, but I know you got the 3 different body types. You got the ectomorph, where they're naturally slimmer, store less body fat.
Yeah.
You've got the endomorph, which naturally store more body fat. Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And you've got the mesomorph, which they're naturally like muscular, easy to add muscle. Carry a bit of fat, but not too much. But you can get different mixes of all 3. And now, I'd say I'm a little bit of a mix of ectomorph and mesomorph. Now, but the ectomorph, they won't normally do as well with going too low on carbs. So like a ketogenic diet might not work well for an ectomorph person. The endomorph though, which naturally carry more body fat, don't normally tolerate carbs as well.
Yeah.
So for them, it'll probably work better compared to the ectomorph. And then the mesomorph, it just depends on the person. They might do well on it and might not do well. But yeah, I haven't tried it myself. I normally like for all clients to keep a little bit of carbs in as well, but not totally cut out, a food group or anything.
No, definitely. I mean, I do think as well. I mean, with like the mesomorph and ectomorph and endomorph and things like that, there's been recent studies now, like they're saying like there's not really a body type as well, is there? I mean, I don't know how true that is, but I mean, I think it all depends. Because I know, like me, if I looked at the list, when I was overweight, I would have thought I was more of an endomorph, but then I got really lean. I looked more like an ectomorph, and so I don't know. I don't think it is. I mean, I may be wrong, but I don't think it is that like with ectomorph, endomorph. I don't think you're one completely. I think we're all a little bit of both.
Yeah, you can definitely get mixed. Yeah, there's normally, well, I mean, you can get people stuck more towards one, but yeah, normally there is a mix.
Yeah.
And even say someone's got carrying a lot of body fat, they could still be an ectomorph naturally, but
yeah,
I mean, our our lifestyle can change how we look as well. So, you know, if someone's, no matter who you are, if you're eating too many calories, too much stuff, you're going to get bigger, you know, as well. Yeah. So it doesn't, just by looking, you can't always tell just by looking at someone what they naturally are. So their lifestyle can change how they look. So again, someone naturally like ectomorph, they can train loads and start to look more like a mesomorph as well.
That's very true.
So that's there's that as well.
I mean, I had a friend in school, one of my best friends growing up in secondary school. He could eat KFC, cookies every single day, and the guy had one of the best physiques I've ever seen. Some people were just lucky as well. I mean, our strength levels were the same, but he had better genetics, of course, you know, and his recovery was and he just got. I mean, you just see his arms. He would do like 20 sets, 20 reps, and his arms would be so pumped, and he would look like a bodybuilder. But we started training at the same time.
Yeah,
it was crazy. You know, some people are the lucky ones, man.
Everyone's pretty much different. Yeah,
of course. You know, but then again, this is what I'm saying. You have to, you know, you can't let that discourage you. You got to train because you enjoy it. No. You have to train because you enjoy it.
Definitely. It must have been a mesomorph.
Yeah, he was very lean, but like, because you made a point, you said like, you know, ectomorph and then you get bigger and, you know, sort of like more mesomorph. He was very lean, but he was obviously for his metabolism, he used to like undereat. And then when he just started, you know, he could eat anything and he wouldn't gain weight. And then when he built up muscle, when he got bigger, he looked like a proper mesomorph. He looked huge.
So probably a bit of a mix.
Yeah, he was. I think he was. Yeah, definitely. He was no way an endo.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, man. But you see, Lomachenko as well.
Yeah, I saw highlights.
He's phenomenal. I think he's the best fighter in the world, personally, right now.
It's got to be. I'm thinking of everyone boxing now. It's got to be.
I mean, if you like, I know he wants to Mayweather's protege. I think his name's Gervonta. I think his name.
Gervonta Davis.
Yeah. I think it's Gervonta Davis. He wants to fight Lomachenko. He's going to move up, and so that should be a good one. But we should have gone to it, man. See Lomachenko fight.
Go too, weren't it?
Yeah, I know. We missed it.
I didn't think.
Because apparently he's doing a tour now. Because I know Ray Robinson did that. He did a tour of like Europe, and he wants to do what, you know. What was his name? Was it Henry Armstrong, the boxer? He fought him like lightweights. He fought in 3 different weight classes, but he would fight in one, add weight, like, you know, gain weight, and then he would fight like in like 3 different weight classes. He wouldn't stay in one. He'll keep going up, down, stay there, and that's what Lomachenko wants to do. Wow. So it hasn't been done in like 100 years, like, you know, up and down, up and down. So it's exciting. It's definitely exciting, but we'll see. Should be good, man.
Yeah. I ain't seen much of Gervonta. You know,
it is. I think
Mayweather's protege. I haven't seen. I've seen a little bit of his fights, but I haven't seen much. Do you know? Has he had any fights lately as well? Do you know?
I don't know about lately. I don't really follow his career, but I saw one fight. He's so arrogant, man. He knocked this guy out, and then the guy went on because I think he knocked him out with a body punch, like body shot, and then the guy leant over, and obviously, you know, it was like grasping friend, and he started copying him.
Yeah, I've seen him do something like that.
That's terrible, man. But, you know, the thing is, he's one of those fighters. People pay to, you know, people love that stuff. Whether you pay to see him lose or whichever, he puts bums in seats, and that's why Mayweather's all about the money, man.
Yeah.
He knows how to make money. He's definitely very smart. But yeah, we'll see. Also as well, man. What's I was gonna say.
Golovkin? I was gonna say him.
No, not. I was going to talk about again. Want to talk about more about the shoulder press.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So, you know, with not the shoulder press, but with your shoulders, do you think it was? I mean, because I know you were doing a lot of Turkish get-ups.
Yeah.
And is that focus more? Sorry.
I missed that exercise too.
Yeah, I don't, man. Now I was going to say, the Turkish get-up. I know you were doing a lot of Turkish get-ups, and do you reckon you got injured because you were focusing too much on, like, you weren't doing enough like rear delt exercise and?
No, I usually did rear delt exercises.
Okay. Yeah.
But I did see a physio about my shoulder. He seemed to think it was a lot. Basically, the tendons got overloaded. I do a lot of work as well. I'm a little guy, so like most of the like people are bigger than me, like most of them. So the physio thought he's probably overloaded because too much work, and he seemed to think it was like tendinopathy, like tendonitis, so like really inflamed tendon. That's what the physio said it probably is. I did change my training at the time as well. I started doing on the TRX just to help with the muscle up, kind of pulling it low.
Yeah.
And then, so I think that was working the similar muscles, because basically when a punch is coming in, your internal rotators will be giving it that feedback, boom, like that dab. Yeah. And doing that movement down and kind of like muscle up type movement, it's probably working the same muscle. So that's probably added to it as well. So basically overloaded tendon. He said it's nothing, like it can be 9 months to get back to normal.
Oh, man.
But you just got to be careful not to, I mean, something I did where was it? I don't know how, 6 weeks ago. It was feeling much better from all the exercise and stuff. And then me and my fiance, we got some badminton rackets and played some badminton in the garden. I didn't think anything of it at the time. It felt fine. Good fun. I'm sure I won as well, but so that's always good as well. But no, later that she done well. But later that evening, it just really tightened up again. So I think I just did a bit too much. I did a lot of training that week as well. So even bench press, because it was feeling better. And I think I just did a bit too much too soon. So something like that. If for anyone out there with any injuries, just make sure. I mean, it's hard sometimes to know when you might feel 100%, but you might need a bit more time just to really get back to normal before you do anything extreme. So now I'm just being extra cautious. At the moment, I'm not even doing bench press at the moment. I'm going to give it more time to settle and get back to normal. But the Turkish get-ups, I don't feel it played a part. You know what, though? Doing it on one side, I can't remember if it was left or right. Now and again, at a certain point, I'd feel a little click. So I'm wondering if something may have been out of alignment as well.
Yeah.
Because I've had trouble on this side before with other things. So who knows? It could be a whole host of things that caused it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a tricky one, that as well, isn't it? I mean, you're saying you're not doing the bench press as much anymore?
Would you? I mean,
go on.
Yeah, not as much anymore. I did start to build it back in, like before the badminton, and it was feeling quite good. I lifted relatively heavy, and it was feeling good. But I'm just taking caution now.
Yeah, I mean that's what you can do. I mean, as well, I think a lot of times with me, when I injured my back, I don't think I was hydrated enough that day as well. Yeah. And I think that might have played a role. And I felt fatigued because I wasn't hydrated. I felt fatigued, and it's just funny how you say it, how just a little thing you can. And the thing is, I felt really fatigued, but I thought I'll go for one more. I'll increase. I was deadlifting, and I thought I'll increase. I had some weight on. And it was, you're tired. I was a bit dehydrated, which is my fault. And what happens? You neglect your form. And that's all it was. I didn't tighten up my upper back. I didn't arch. I was just, and then I lifted and it went crunch, 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 just popped. And I really thought I slipped the disc. I thought I herniated the disc there. I remember I just dropped the weight straight away. And I tried to get up slowly because I thought I can't move. And then I was all right after that. But, it's just all I'm doing now. And, it's a lot of people, years ago, we used to say, you have a back injury, not too much sure about the shoulder, but with the back, they'll say rest it, lay in bed. Now I just, not straight away, but no, pretty much. So I rested that day. I got back home from the gym, rested, done some stretches, and then for the whole week, I was just slowly increasing. I wasn't going to gym, but I was doing what they call like the reverse hypers and things like that, and just to keep the muscle warm, because you can't, if you stop, your back will stiffen up. So now I'm fine again. I do feel it. It was playing up a bit today.
Well, how did it feel?
It feels like when I'm driving to work, it'll feel really tight, and it feels like it's on one side. So I don't know. I'm a bit worried. I'm not, getting a bit of numbness. Sometimes I do as well. So I'm scared it's herniated, but I it shouldn't be. I mean, surely I would have felt it, or known by now if it was. But...
Yeah, I mean, just be careful with it. Like, of course, listen to your body. Might be a bit of tightness somewhere, so do. I can show you some exercises to do. Cat camel, just to get it moving. Do you know?
Yeah, I've been doing all that. Yeah, the cat camel. I've been doing like body weight hypers, like like one arm up and then like alternate leg out, and then that's really really good. That's really good.
Yeah, on all fours, lift one arm, opposite leg.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's good. But then I was watching as well. Speaking of back injuries, what's his name? West Side Barbell guy.
Yes, I know.
Louis Simmons. Louis Simmons.
Yeah.
Louis Simmons. He was talking about his back injury.
Yeah, I've read about that.
Yeah, and he slipped the disc and he couldn't train, and because he had that. That's who invented the reverse hypo.
Yeah.
I mean, that's genius. So obviously I can't get one in my place because it's not convenient. But I think a lot of gyms should invest in reverse hypers. You got the main the normal ones, but reverse hypers, you can increase your squat, your deadlift. They save people getting operated on.
Yeah. I mean, for everyone out there listening as well, Louis Simmons, you said he injured his back, and he developed this exercise called reverse back extension or reverse hyper extension.
Reverse hyper extension.
Helped rehabilitate himself, and he's got back lifting it as well. So it's a great exercise. Helps with blood, lower back. All gyms should get that as well.
Yeah, I think that's.
I know there's a basic version in most gyms, but then get the actual machine where you can add extra weight on. That would be good.
No, definitely. I think a lot of gyms as well. I mean, I do think a lot of commercial gyms, and they need to cater more to people. That they try and cater to everyone, but they should add more. I mean, you go into a lot of gyms, or in my gym, and you've only got 2 squat racks, and then the majority of the stuff are like machines and bicep curl, like machines and whatnot, which are important. But again, I think you should take away some fluff and pump stuff, in my opinion, and reverse it with crucial equipment like reverse hypers, more squat racks, more deadlifting areas, because that builds overall body fitness. And just, in my opinion, you might not agree, but I do think you can, at your gym, how many times have you used the hip fly, like for your hips, like what are they called? Where you put your legs in and you sort of
you mean adduction?
I mean, instead of that, you can have like a reverse hyper machine.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So it's out benefits on a lot more. Reverse hypers don't just work your lower back; they work your glutes as well. They work hamstrings. It's a shame a lot of gyms I've been to that don't have them. But hopefully this video will change that.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to hopefully one day get my own gym, and then
definitely.
I'd have all this in there. All the best equipment.
No, I always say that. But one day if I ever do own a gym, I would just have squat racks, benches, deadlifting platforms. I have some. I have a lot of sledgehammers, tire flips, and reverse hyper machines, and have a few like isolations, but I don't think you need them to build overall an overall fit body. Sled pushes as well. Sleds, they're really good.
Right, the Prowler.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Great one.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
I did 3 sets of those a few weeks back. I was gasping for air. They're so hard, really hard.
No, I give something similar to clients in my gym, but we don't have a Prowler, but we've got a box, and I just put weight on top.
See,
same kind of thing. Get them to push it. So it's similar.
I mean, it's the same concept. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Prowler, in it. It's the sort of same concept. But again, going back to Louis Simmons, did you watch that documentary on Netflix?
Not the full one. I saw a little clip of what you sent me, but I didn't see the full.
Yeah, it was the one on Netflix was it really. See, I knew a bit about West Side Barbell, but I didn't know they were so secretive. Like, you had to get an invitation to go and train there because he wanted world record powerlifters, and if you weren't getting the numbers anymore, he would just throw you out. That was crazy. But it's like, I mean, it's quite harsh, but I guess that's how you make champions.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely.
You know, it's this, but you see, because I think is his name Larry Bird, is it the basketball player? Because Louis Simmons, the reverse hyper, he didn't release it to the general population. It was something he invented when he injured his back. And this basketball player, Larry Bird or baseball, I mean, I'm not sure, but he got injured and he couldn't play. He retired. So, you know, it was a slip disc, it was only a disc. And then Louis Simmons was like, oh, you know, I've got something which might, you know, benefit you. So he made him come to his gym, he trained him, and then he started playing again because of Louis. Like, I know I'm going on about this, but the machine is genius, man. It really is. It's crazy. You know, it can help. It can benefit a lot of people, definitely. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Even like the plank holds, I don't really see many people doing plank holds anymore.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, great exercise as well. Better than crunches, where it, of course, works that inner core unit. So no, good exercise to do, definitely. And then once someone gets better at that, they could move on to front squats.
Yeah.
That work the core and legs together. Have you ever done the front squats?
No, never.
That's
they're good. Yeah, worth doing.
One to try. You can start. Have you done it with any weight in front, like kettlebells or a goblet squat?
Yeah, because I'm doing a lot more kettlebell stuff now. I've done it with the kettlebells, but with the barbells, I mean, it's the same, or is it?
Yeah, with the barbell, it can be more awkward. Basically, there's three ways you can do it. So barbell resting high up there, right? If it's too low, it's gonna kill your shoulders. Okay,
Yeah.
So basically, you want to be as high as you can. The one way is to get your hands under the bar. You need flexible wrists for that. It's kind of Olympic style where they do the clean press. They clean it there, so the hands are that way. The other way, which I do, is hands across. So the bar's there. Bring your hands across. Get it as high as you can. Chest up, squat down. There's another way where you wrap straps onto it, so that you can hold it like that. So you pull in the straps. This tied against the bar. And it's just a more comfortable hand position, and you squat down. Basically, it's going to work your legs. You won't lift as heavy as a back squat, but it's also going to work your core, your inner abdominals. They're tough.
I might add that into my routine because I'm doing like the only sort of squat form, like sort of squat exercise I'm doing now is it's sort of like a kettlebell. So basically, what I do is I'll squat and then push the kettlebells in the air. So I'm like shoulder pressing. So as I'm shoulder pressing, as my arms are extended, I'll squat down.
Yeah.
And I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I started that off and I never realized how imbalanced my body was. I couldn't do it. Like, you know, weight wise, it was easy at first. It's just like, this is, you know, a couple of weeks back. And I did it with 8 kilo in each hand, like a kettlebell. And I did it and did a maneuver and I felt a pop in my back. And it was too heavy. But it was strange because it was like whereas I'm doing 2 maneuvers at once, it's like my body wasn't in tune. And now I can go all the way down and literally go like arse to grass.
Yeah.
It's just funny how, and this again going back to Pavel's method, I'm getting better at these maneuvers. And in the long run, I might not be lifting as much weight as I was before, but I've got more work capacity. It's such a clever way to train.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. You're doing the press, the squat, and then back down.
Well, no, as I press, I squat.
Oh, okay. So same time.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a good maneuver.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of what else am I doing? So I'll have my feet like in a kettlebell, like, you know, each foot in a kettlebell, and I'll hold my arms out straight. No, sorry, a bit behind me. And then I'll go all the way down and then come back up and they're still in the air and I'll do sit-ups.
Okay, yes.
You know, it's a killer.
I've given that to clients with like a Viper. Do you know the Viper? The log type?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've given that to clients. They find it tough. It's a great one. Yeah, same thing. Laying back, arms straight, sitting up.
Yeah, oh man. But I try and, you know, keep my arms up. I'm constantly keeping pressure, you know, on my abdominals, and it's just working all the stabilizing muscles, shoulders. It's just, again, I'm getting more bang for my buck instead of just, you know, there and doing 5 sets of bicep curls, or, you know what I mean. So I'm trying to get more out of my training now. I'm not just sticking to one thing. You know? And I'm trying to get better at maneuvers as well. I'm trying to get better at the squat. Trying to, you know, just I'm trying to be more flexible and agile, because when I done my back, that worried me. Because I thought, wow, am I getting old or am I just, like, I was like, is my body, it needs something different. It really does. So it was good.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think sometimes it can be. I mean, you mentioned there's so many different factors. Yeah, you need to be hydrated, good sleep, good nutrition, recovered from a workout to train it. Like, I was going to say, muscles can be tight. Sometimes stretching out some muscles. Sometimes muscles can be tight and weak. Actually, sometimes strengthening muscles as well.
Yeah.
Part. Coming back to what you said as well, about you said about having like a back pain or something. Yeah, you don't want to completely rest it. You kind of spoke about it. Definitely. Normally, the normal advice now, not to totally rest, but get it moved. If you rest the muscle too much, it will just get weaker and weaker.
Yeah,
movement, like most injuries, well, it depends on the injury, but there's a lot of injuries where you're advised to keep moving as well.
No, definitely. I mean, I know my mum, she's got a herniated disc.
Okay, actually.
Yeah. So I want to, I want her to start sort of, because I mean, the doctor's saying, keep it, do this, do that, don't keep it busy. Not keep it busy, warm the muscles up, whatnot. But she doesn't know. So I'd like to, because she was training at one point as well, my mum. So I want her to, get back into it. I mean, someone like, my mum, I won't reveal her age, but she's reverse hypers will benefit her so much. With just slowly. Don't do it too much. Don't add any weight. Just body weight reverse hypers. I mean, surely it will. I think it will benefit her.
Definitely, and I would advise light deadlifts. Just sometimes a lot of people don't have the right form as well, the right posture. Yeah. So it could be good, because we will lift things each day. Bend down, lift things up.
Yeah.
If we ain't got quite the right technique, the quite right form or posture, that's something that can gradually wear down, and then you get injured at some point. So I'd advise that as well. See if she's keeping that arch back at the bottom of the deck. Just like something I do with clients is kettlebells are a good start, because it's just easier to keep the technique, or trap bar as well.
Yeah. No, trap bar. You don't. I mean, trap bar. You don't really feel it as much in your lower back, do you?
Yeah. It's not as much on the lower back, but it's a good starting point. Like if people haven't done deadlifts before, glute hip bridge can be good, because a lot of people can have. I mean, the glutes can be lazy and not help with a deadlift. So a glute bridge can help wake up the glutes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. As well.
No, definitely, yeah.
When did she get the?
No, it's been a while. I mean, she injured it. Well, I think she was literally just, I think she coughed, or she, turned. It was just something triggered it. But it was I want her to, I'm gonna try and get her into, doing like reverse hypers and the stuff you mentioned. And I know a lot of people as well. They do sumo squats, because they're not as toxic as your lower back, innit? I mean, they're not as that bad on the lower back as the conventional deadlifts. Sumo deadlift, excuse me.
Sumo deadlift,
yeah.
On the glutes, less strain on the back. So.
No, definitely. As well, have you just quickly, because before we wrap this up, there's this guy on YouTube called Eric Bugenhagen. Do you know him?
No.
Yeah, he's like a fitness YouTube personality guy, and he specializes. He says basically a lot of beginners should just focus on 1 or 2 or 3 like maximum lifts, like main lifts, and like he's really strong as well. He's got good philosophy and whatnot. But yeah, he does a lot of what you say. He does a lot of front squats and things like that. And he does what they called the Zercher squats, because he's a wrestler.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of those as well. But it's just, I mean, what's the benefit of those? Is it?
Zercher squat, it's similar to a front squat, but the bar rests across the arms. So it's similar. Just the bar's a little lower, but you're still going to work your core as well. Again, another variation. I'd recommend trying that as well. You just need. It's good to have some kind of what is it? The bar can dig into your arms with that. So either wear something long sleeve or even have a foam padding on if you don't really, just to protect your arms a bit. But
no, definitely.
You might not need. Yeah.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, finish your point. Sorry, man.
You know, you might not need. You might be all right without, but
just because another thing as well. Like just going back to the point I made earlier about plateauing and stuff. See, again, if you are, a bit more advanced into your training and you do plateau, don't just. A lot of people, they'll, check your calories, whatnot, plenty of rest, and make sure your body's, you're stretched out, your muscles are recovered. But if you're plateauing on, say, a squat, maybe add in some Xerxes squats, maybe add in some pause squats. There's just different variations, and they can break plateaus as well. Because I know what are they called, the goblet chair squats. Is it when you sit down on the chair and then you squat back up? What are they called? That one?
Box squat. Where you
box squat? Excuse me. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, onto
they're
the
amazing.
Box chair. Yeah.
They're really they're phenomenal. I mean, they can break tons. I remember when I got back from Thailand, and I started training. I had plenty of rest, and I was doing box squats, but I went a lot lighter than my sort of main set on a normal squat, and I started doing normal squats again, and I broke through the plateau like that. Yeah. So they there's tons and tons of variations. There really is. And again, with shoulder press, another good one is overhead press. Excuse me. Sit down and if you've got like a squat rack, sit down on the squat rack, and so you're sitting down on the floor, and you're just do a normal shoulder press instead of like using tensing your glutes, whatever. You're literally just using your whole upper body, so you're not using any lower part of your body, and you're just using your upper body, your core. And if you can do that, so say if you're stuck on 50 kg for however many reps, drop that down to say 40, and then try and do 5 sets of 5 or whatever on the seated overhead press. And when you go back to doing your normal overhead press, you'll break the plateau because you're not using leg drive or your glutes. Yeah. There's tons of ways you can use hand grips on the bar to thicken up your grip. So there's loads of stuff you can do. Loads of stuff.
Yeah, definitely, man.
There's tons out there. So I do think that when people do plateau, it is a case of, it's going to sound harsh, but it might not be it's your fault without you knowing though. Sometimes you might not know what to do and what not, but that's if you do plateau, make sure you're getting plenty of rest. They're saying it. There's no such thing as overtraining, only under rested, or but then you just make sure you get plenty of rest and just switch it up. If you're again a lot more advanced into lifting, there's tons of exercises you can do to break plateaus. 100%, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely mixing it up like you said. You can bring in a pause variation. Bring in a box to like a box squat for that as well. Something like bench presses. If someone getting stuck on that, you can do the same on that. A pause bench press
or floor press. That's brilliant. The floor press is good.
Yeah.
Floor press is literally you're laying on the floor, and you might be able to explain it better. Go on if you.
Yeah. No, the floor press. Yeah, you're just basically on the floor. I guess normally someone would pass you the bar, or you might set up like a Smith rack or something. And just bring it down. So you only bring it as low as your arms will actually touch the floor.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you're not getting as low as a bench press. So really good if your sticking point on the bench press is you lift it and you get stuck halfway. This would be perfect. You just bring it down, control, and then drive up.
Because you ain't got it will benefit you a lot because you're not using any leg drive. So you're just using whole upper body, and that's how they used to bench press back in the old days. They didn't have benches and whatnot. So again, stuff like this, it can really add to your training. Really add to your training, Yeah. So Seral's clients, he's going to get you up doing a lot of box squats.
Yeah, I actually haven't given it to them for a little while. It's been a lot of front squats lately.
I need to start doing them front squats.
Deadlifts, normal deadlifts as well. Lunges. Yeah. Sometimes I give them the one arm overhead lunge. So one arm staying up. If it's the left arm up, opposite leg stepping back into a reverse lunge. That's good.
I bet that's a coordination killer, that one, isn't it, man?
Not as bad as Turkish get up. It's like small part of the Turkish get up.
Really? Yeah. Again, saying that, I know I keep making this point about doing maneuver, just more frequently than intensity. But remember when we did the Turkish get-ups, when we had Ateş with us as well,
Yeah.
and we were doing the Turkish get-ups, and we were literally using ridiculously lightweight, but where we weren't used to the movement, it was hard. It was so hard. But then again, if you just do like a standard shoulder press, like overhead press, you can do reps for however many weight. I'm better at it. But when I was in a Turkish get up, that stabilizing muscle of just holding it in the air and balancing, I wasn't good at it. But I'm actually going to try that when I train tomorrow, because again, I've been doing a lot of kettlebell like stabilization exercises and whatnot. So I'm going to try that, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. Let me know, man.
Yeah.
I think any exercise, if someone's not used to it, they're going to lift light to start with. I mean, always start people on light Turkish get-ups, any exercise really.
No, definitely.
And then you soon keep with it, and you see the strength coming up and up and up.
No, definitely.
You're lifting kilos like me.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's mad. 50 kilos. You got the video on your channel, haven't you?
Yes.
You should repost it on your Instagram.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Repost it and then just hashtag it and stuff, and you never know, it might go viral.
Yeah.
That's amazing, really, if you think about it. I mean, you lifted someone up over your head.
Yeah, I'll say anyone can do it. It's just
yeah. Of course, man. Of course. For someone to you got to practice and get good at lifts.
Yeah.
You got to be dedicated to it.
Yeah.
As you are.
Yeah, man.
But yeah.
Like any goal. Whatever you go, you've got to be dedicated to it. You can't just need to stay focused on it. Like whether it's fat loss, building strength, hitting a PB on an exercise. Got to be just consistent with your training.
Yeah, you do.
Consistent with your eating habits, and you'll get the results. Like whatever your goals out there.
No, definitely. And don't eat too much banana bread. I've been eating banana bread lately, but I've had it. Last week I bought it 2 days in a row. A big loaf of banana bread. It's like full of sugars.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever tried it. But,
it's nice, man. It's really nice. It's not good for you, but.
Oh no. So is this something that tastes really good? Just have it in moderation. Well, it depends on your goal.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I mean. But it was really tasty. But yeah, I want to recommend that for most people trying to lose weight. What's your take, quickly before we go again? What's your take on cheat days and cheat meals? Because I'm for them.
Yeah. So, what's this in regards to going for fat loss? Or?
Fat loss. More for fat loss. So look, you're someone you're in. Let's take severe case. You're overweight and you've just started working out. So you just started working out. Give me a workout program. You go, no, hey, make sure you eat like this. Is it the worst thing if you indulge once a week? So
once a week? Do you mean one meal a week, 1 day a week?
One day.
1 day.
Yeah.
So 1 day a week. It can. So I'll explain to you. It can 1 day a week of cheat day, eating what you want. It can actually. So the rest of the week you've been eating a certain amount of calories. That 1 day a week eating what you want. It can bring your calories for the week up to maintenance levels, or sometimes it can go over. So one way to deal with it is just to make sure. So you do what. I'll explain this as well. Just to ideally work out your BMR. There's normally a Harris Benedict formula out there. It'll work out your BMR and it'll work out your total daily energy expenditure, TDEE. So with that, you've got your calories for the week. Depending on your activity levels, let's just say man wants to lose weight. Just say his maintenance levels of 2,500 calories. He wants to lose weight, lower calories by about 500 calories a day. So you have 2,000 calories a day. For 7, just say 7 days a week for now. I'm going to explain a few things. So over the course of a week, what's that? That's can't do my maths today. What's that? That's 3,500 calories down for the week.
Yeah.
So if he's having, I should do so whatever the weekly calories is, if he's having 2,000 calories a day, but on that one day he has where are we? 3,500 calories extra that day. So he's had where are we? My maths might ain't on, but if he has too many calories that day, he can be on maintenance levels. So
yeah. It makes sense. That makes sense.
So you can either, a couple of ways around it. If you drop your calories a bit lower for the rest of the week, well, you might go 1,800. So just so that on that one day a week, you can eat a little more than the 2,000.
Yeah.
It might come to 3,000 actually. Yeah, it will actually come to 3,200 if I've worked it out right. I mean, don't quote me on that.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying though. Yeah,
but just for everyone out there as well. So, but basically factor in a cheat day or cheat meal. You can't factor it in for your weekly calories.
Yeah.
So that you're for the week you're in a deficit and you'll still lose, body fat.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it. And another way as well is if you're going low carb, you can.
I hope that makes sense, just for everyone else.
Sorry.
I hope that made sense. I don't even.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it did. I mean, just bake in it. Just save your calories. So eat, you can eat less throughout the week. So if you're and then just you can save it. Another way as well is what I used to do is if I would want my cheat days and whatnot, I would reduce my carbs for that week.
Yeah. And
then on my cheat day, I would just sort of eat what I wanted, and then like that, it sort of I don't spill over, with carbs and whatnot. That's a good way, and I found that works for me. And then I didn't even have to. I mean, I recommend you counting your calories if you're doing this, but I never used to on the cheat day on the Saturday. Say I would just eat what I wanted because realistically, when you're eating cookies and things like that, when you're eating clean throughout the week, I get a bit sick, so I can't even eat that much anyway.
Yeah.
I can't stuff my face, so I personally, I think they're good. If I would, but then if it all depends. If you're really, really, really overweight, and you've got an eating addiction and you've got an addiction to food, I wouldn't recommend it because then it's like you're addicted to food, you're addicted to bad food. So why would you sort of go back to it and treat yourself once? I would sort of try and get in a mentality where you're eating clean, wholesome food, and then maybe treat yourself to something clean when you're a little bit more stable. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, don't.
Yeah.
If you've got a food addiction, I wouldn't recommend going, okay, have one day where you can eat anything you want, because then that's like it's an addiction. You can relapse and.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even something like if we pick a food group, something like chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate. If you cut something like that out, you start to not miss it. But then sometimes if you have a little bit one day, it can bring it back and like, oh, that's nice, and you end up eating it of chocolate or.
No, 100%.
So that is something to be careful of. It's going to vary between
definitely. I mean, that's the most severe case.
Yeah.
So we use the most severe. So I mean, if you're not in that category, I mean, I would have a cheat day or a cheat meal and then just see how it is. And then another thing as well. What was my last point going to be about the cheat meal? Yeah, mine's gone blank. We've covered a lot. That's why we've covered a lot. So
we're like near about an hour.
Yeah, really. Yeah, we've covered quite a bit. So it's a lot of information.
Yeah, anyone out there as well, feel free to send over questions that you have.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can answer them in our next podcast.
Yeah, and whatever topics you want us to talk about, let us know, because you'll be it'll help us as well, and then help you.
Yeah, definitely.
All right then, that was good. That was a good one.
Yeah, great stuff. I'll press the stop. I'll stop the recording. So until next time, everyone.
Take care. Peace. See you later.